this time. 2021. Yeah, show him I can still rap though. Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8-day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way with some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I've been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a one-on-one. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want that check, but can you make it stretch?
Go Knowles.
Hey, sorry about that. I was on the phone with Kerry Miller.
Good morning, PayPro Nation. It's Hoodie Friday, and we're here to absolutely rock your world as we continue to talk about easy money, how to make the most out of your easy money when it comes to March 2021. And it is hot in here. It's heating up in here because we're making all kinds of money and we're saving all kinds of money for your merchants. Right here on the High Five, we're going to be talking about it now. Let's go.
The time has come, the questions are set, opinions high, discussions are there, show about nothing and everything, it's all the same. We've got sports, entertainment, sales, and marketing. Time for the High Five. We got it all covered. It's time for the High Five. We got it all covered. The High Five.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the High Five, but you know what? I had screwed up that intro a little bit because I got a little distracted because I had to throw my hood up really quick because I realized there were three incredible dashing gentlemen who all had their hoods up now because I was the third. I want to introduce the one in the center who's looking down at his phone, texting someone to make better world and life, Mr. Brian Linky. How are you, Brian?
Okay, Nate, here's the thing. You guys don't have to feel like you need to, have to feel like you have to have your hoods up. Okay, let me tell you something. Nobody pays the heat bill in here.
Well, hey,
I
we've got to save the money because we're paying the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to our partners. Come on, Brian.
That's true.
We can't heat
Nice
the
one,
office
Nate.
of there.
Nice one, Nate. I like that.
All right, how are you, Danny Shard? Danny, you were just here's how the man works. He serves thousands of Papertech partners, but he also serves his local merchants in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. He was serving one and literally just walked into his office to do the high five with us. How are you, Danny Shard?
I'm doing well, Nate. Happy Friday, High Five Nation. Good morning, Brian. Yeah, it was an eventful morning. I had a 4-month-old that was up at 4:30, and I took it on this morning. And then as on my way into work, had one of my merchants who's a breakfast place was having an issue with one of their terminals. So ran by, did a quick update. They're up and running, and I'm in here for the high five. So it's what we do.
Look at you, Dan.
It is what we do. Pull your mic over, Mr. Brian Linke. You're far away from it. Where is your
I
mic?
can hear you.
You're not as crisp and clear.
Is that better?
Oh, there's the sexy sounds of Brian Linke. That is what we've come to know.
I'm trying to increase my bandwidth.
There we go. All right, so here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about how in the world do we maximize this easy money that we're doing here in March. So we introduced it last week. You can watch the videos. You can go to mypapertech.com, click on the little thing about the easy money, and you can watch the video. You can see all the highlights of the program. But what I want to do is ask Brian and Danny, who talk to partners more than anyone, what are you hearing? How are our partners maximizing this opportunity to make $300 for the first 3 edge deals and then $500 for all the extra deals, plus all the extra things we'll talk about with how are they maximizing already as we've gone 5 days into the month of March? Brian?
Well, I mean, it's a good question. Again, I think I talked to a guy yesterday, and he's kind of, looking out, going after the $50,000, the $75,000, $100,000 a month merchant, and I think that's a great thing. However, and I didn't want to talk them out of it, but I think if those are the merchants that you're going after, if you haven't started, if they're not in your pipeline, right? I mean, if those people are people that you haven't started talking to already, or because I mean those are tough ones. I mean, there's no doubt about it, right? I mean, those are going to be hard to close quickly. I mean, that's just a realistic way of looking at it. I just think that this contest is more for the singles and doubles hitter, right? I mean, going after the merchants, the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, I mean, those are solid, right? I mean, those are solid edge merchants, and easy to talk to, and you can go get your $300 for the first 5, and then after that it's $500. And I just think that those are the ones, and I'll give a shout out to my boy Pete Spaziano, because that's exactly what he's doing. He's just going after, he's just a singles doubles hitter, and he's bringing a lot of accounts. He does nothing but pay anywhere, so he's maximizing on that bonus as well. And edge, and he's racking it up. So I mean, I don't know. If it's me, that's probably what I'm doing. Just because, I mean, I guess if this contest was a 90 or 120 day kind of a thing, it might be a little bit different. I think if it was 90 or 120 days, we'd probably be out of business. But being that it's a 30, 31 day, business days, probably 20 days. I just think it's more of a, go singles, doubles, go after the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 ones.
Brian or Danny, you're talking to a lot, even some new partners who are jumping in, and so they're getting onboarded into Papertech Learning. What would you say to a new partner that may be jumping in the first 14 days of this month? How do they maximize the opportunity of easy money in March for to help them out, to even jumpstart them as they start their business and their payments business with Papertech?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of bonus structures, right, for new partners that are coming in. We've got our fast start bonus, obviously the peak bonus, just got even better, right? You've got $300 on all EPX deals, $600 on pay anywhere. So we've got some really lucrative bonus structures already for new partners coming in. But if you start here in March, it's even better. And like Brian's talking about, it's this is a month to really take advantage of merchants that you've got in your pipeline, right? If you've got them with another provider and maybe they could use an upgrade to equipment, hopefully they're looking to upgrade to a cash discount type of program and do things like that. This is the month to convert those merchants over and get them that newer equipment, get them that better program that's going to eliminate their processing fees and maximize your revenue, right? Because not only on top of the bonus and the Fast Start bonus that we already pay as a standard of our program, you're going to get all these additional bonuses. And that can be the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month merchants and even higher. And like Brian's talking about, I think what he's getting at is from the new prospecting, right? Whenever you're going in, you're cold, you're trying to get, introductions into these high volume merchants. Those are tough to close in what 20, 25 days that we've got left so far, right? So, obviously you don't want to discount those. You want to go after every opportunity that you can. But this is definitely a month to really build that up and take advantage of the merchants that you've got in your pipeline and really take advantage of this promotion because you're just not going to find one like this in the industry. We do as good a job as I think anybody, and Nate, you're one of the best at it, is trying to keep our ear to the ground of what our competition's doing, right? We want to stay ahead of them and hopefully be, quite a bit better. And compensation is one of the first things we like to start with. And that's why we think a lot of our partners continue to work with us in addition to the service and support we provide. So take advantage of March Madness.
Well, the other thing is about the contest that we run. I've never until I got to Papertech, and I've been on a lot of sales jobs with a lot of companies nationwide, with contests and promotions and things like that. But the thing about Papertech is, our contests. It was always about winning, right? Like there was a contest, go to Cancun and you had to be in the top such and such. And, you had to beat out, these offices and that all, these contests that we run, they're, to win, you're winning. It's you. You're not up against anybody. And I think that's kind of that's one of the things that strikes me every single time we do one of these things. And I've never talked about it to anybody, but it's you. So as far as like winning the contest, let's figure out how to win it, right? Let's, I always work for guys that taught me how to, Brian, there's a contest, you may as well win it, right? Let's go win the I like to win. Right. And winning, in my opinion, is to win this contest, the way this thing is structured, is the singles doubles thing and go make your $300 to $500, make your $600 pay anywhere bonuses and just rack up the money that way.
Oh, I love that. I mean, here's the question to you guys. Are your ear to the ground with our partners as the economy is kind of opening up a little bit? We're seeing things come around. What are maybe some tips or tricks you're hearing? Partners are saying, hey, I'm going after this. This is really hot. People are really interested in Edge in this vertical. What are some little tips or tricks we could give to our partner base as they're looking to maximize March and make it the biggest March ever to really get going? What are we hearing? I mean, I just saw that, the economy grew by more jobs in February. It was like 3x what they were expecting. That's a good sign. We know that hopefully there's going to be a stimulus, and a lot of people are going to have an extra $1,400 or more in their pocket, which means more spending. What are you hearing? What are the tips and tricks you're hearing, gentlemen? Let me bring up the 3-shot and let you decide who wants to go first.
Dan, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Texas, first of all, for kind of leading the pack there, right? It's, obviously that they've seen quite a bit of reduction in COVID cases, but let the people go to work. And we're hearing just a lot of great things from our partners in Texas that are excited. A lot of businesses are excited to be back open and kind of starting to get back to somewhat normal if they can. But, the tips and tricks that I don't think we need to overthink it, right? There's not a lot of new things that we're doing here that you're gonna go into this month compared to what you did 2 weeks ago, right? It's really just trying to put a focus on building that pipeline and utilizing that pipeline as best you can to take advantage and bring these merchants in and maximize the bonus that you're going to get here in the month of March. But, think outside the box as well, right? Of course, our offerings cater to the brick and mortar, the retail, the restaurants, these types of merchants. But we're seeing a lot in the B2B space, and we're seeing a lot of merchants that really want to pass those fees on and eliminate their processing fees. So do that now. And there's some high volume merchants that actually, and like Brian's saying, those can be a little bit tougher to close. But a lot of them can have a much easier solution to work with, like an authorize.net or some type of gateway that you can get set up, get a high volume merchant that's passing on and doing the cash discount program, and they just have a simplified solution, and it's not that convoluted as you think. So think outside the box and let us help you. If you're coming across solutions or opportunities that you're just not sure how to tackle, Brian and I and our entire team here can help.
I mean, one of the things I see here is there is a new whole push for new business licenses. And I saw this past week. In fact, I'm going to one tonight, a new restaurant that just opened on Monday. We're seeing new businesses and new opening. Brian, do you think that's a good industry? And for like, in order to find new businesses that are just opening, what do you have to do to keep your ear to the ground, to find the licenses, to be there when they're making that payments decision as part of their opening process?
Well, like like you just said, Nate. I mean, there's a restaurant opening that you're going to tonight that that you've never been before, and like you said, I think they're popping up all over the place. I think you just need to just pay attention, right? I mean, you just pay attention. There are new businesses, here in Warsaw, Indiana. There's a whiskey bar that just opened. There's a new sushi place that just opened. There's a new Chicago style pizza place that's opening. So they're there. You just, again, pay attention. And I think the biggest thing, I think one of the things that this pandemic has done, it's gotten us a little bit, I don't know what's the word, lazy, lethargic. Where we're trying to do the job at our kitchen table or on our living room couch, and I just think that it's the time is now. It's been about a year since this thing started, and everybody's going to have to get up off the couch, take a shower, right? Rule number 4. Put some clothes on and get out there and get in front of people, because in my opinion, it's really the only way to do it.
And Nate, you threw out something that was really important on a video that we did earlier this week, and I don't want to spoil it, but I'm going to have to. And for our high five team here, and that's as you're trying to think outside the box and some tips and tricks to do, like you said, Nate. More business licenses are being issued, more people are going back to work. Things are opening, right? And what can you do to really stand out in your community, in your area? And Nate, you had an awesome idea about thank you cards. I think you should talk about that, though, because that's an amazing idea, and I think that's something that a lot of partners could really do, and it could really help them stand out.
All right, see, we're stealing, so you can watch the whole. I'll just do a clip here, but you can watch the whole 5 with Danny. Go to 5withdanny.com. We did about 9 minutes of Danny and I just going back and forth. But the one thing we are really looking for when it comes to these notes and sending thank you cards is look at all the businesses that have survived and just send a thank you note. Send a moment of gratitude to them. Maybe if it's a business that you have more connection, maybe you send them a gift basket. But actually handwrite a note, send it to them, and thank them for serving. Thank them for working hard. It's been so hard to be a business owner, especially a brick and mortar where you've had to put shields in and get PPE for all your staff and figure out new staffing and figure out how to do curbside and how to do delivery and find out from the health department what the rules are that week as it changes in every state and every city, and what, and suddenly they're getting and just say thank yous. I've been trying to do that when I go to restaurants and I sit in the patio or I sit, in our social distance places, and just saying, I've started trying to do little notes, and this is to the servers, but saying, hey, thank you for your service, and increasing the tip, knowing that they have less people coming in. And I think that moment of gratitude and pouring into your community will set you apart. And I think even doing that with new businesses as they're starting and saying, hey, thank you for investing in the economy, or businesses that are reopening. Like I know, I saw the stat in California, that was the largest state of businesses where they shut down, but a lot of them are thinking, okay, now I'm going to reopen as they are allowed to, some of the rules are lessening, and we're all staging, and we're seeing the vaccine roll out, and people are feeling a little more confident. What could you do to give something, not just go in and say, I'm going to take care of your payment services, but really provide, hey, thank you for starting a business. And if you start that with gratitude, that changes your sales platform and certainly increases it. Brian, I want to ask you, because you've been doing this, you are our sage when it comes to sales. As you've seen people, coming through, and Danny's laughing at Brian there, but look at him. He's the sage wisdom as we pull him up there.
True.
I've been called a lot of things. I've been called a lot of things. I don't know if I've ever been called sage.
You've been called a sage?
Oh,
I'm a sage, and well, yesterday, Danny told me that I had to increase my bandwidth, and I didn't even know how to spell it.
all right. Well, back to Brian as our sage. And now I have to remember even what the question was that I was going to put him up. But the sales when you go through something like we've gone through for the last 12 months almost now, and do you regroup and go back to how you're doing it, or do you reevaluate and change your sales process? I mean, how many different times have you changed how you do sales in your illustrious career?
None.
Okay.
None. I mean, I am who I am. I think let me go back 1 second, Nate, about the thank you thing. And the reason I think it's so important to, and that was, and like Danny said, I mean, that's a great idea. Adding, a little bit more to the tip. And I've been doing that, I've actually increased it over the last year, but, and the reason that that's such a great idea, is because nobody else is doing it. Okay, say what you want, and I mean, I know I'm lying, and I know obviously there has to be somebody, but I am telling you right now, the majority of salespeople out there are not doing it. And if you want to separate yourself, that's certainly one way. But as far as like your sales tag, again, I just think that we've gotten lazy. I think we've gotten lethargic, and rightfully so. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I think just staying home, not traveling. I mean, the three of us. I mean, think about how many trips we were taking to see our partners and the shows that we were attending. And when was the last time we were at one? I mean, it's been a long time. So I just think you need to get back to where you were before. Think about, but don't change as a person. Because I mean, I'll never, at this point in my life, for goodness sakes, I'll never change. But, I just think you need to just get up, get off the couch, get out of the living room, and get out there and start working again. And, it's just, again, it's like riding a bike, right? Once you start and you get out there, I think it just comes naturally.
And I mean, you definitely don't change who you are. You change, you change a little bit about your approach. Maybe you reach out on social media. This is me, Nate.
Yep. Sorry. Yep.
No, you're good. Yeah. On that thank you thing. I mean, like, just to expand on that a little bit, like literally, and Nate said a handwritten note. That's a great idea. If you can do that for a few hundred businesses locally, or you can go to a local print shop, give them a handwritten note that you can kind of make blankets and maybe customize the first name or something like that to the business owner. But how cool would that be to say, hey, this is Danny over here at Shard Business Solutions. I just want to thank you for being a business in our community and making it through the most difficult year we'll ever experience. Let us know if we can help you, but more importantly, congratulations, and let's move forward together.
Nobody else is doing it.
Nobody else is going to do that. And then take that a step further, right? And go onto the Facebook pages. You've got all these local, I know Warsaw's got one. We've got one here in Glenwood Springs. Nate, I think you said that there's probably a bunch of them there in Indianapolis. And I'm sure they're in every community all over the country. And it's, a focus on the restaurants or maybe just the local community, updates and things like that. I mean, go on there and actually congratulate business owners. Say, hey, us here at Paprotech want to congratulate all the business owners here locally for making it through the most difficult time. If you need anything, we're here to help. But more importantly, congratulations. And that, I mean, is going to stand out so much. And your name's going to be out there. And you're going to get a lot of business from it, or you're going to get a buzz going in your community, and people are going to know who you are, and you're going to be surprised at some of the communication you get back from it. So try things like that, because it's going to stand out. You're going to put yourself out there, but it's something that nobody's doing. So what do you have to lose?
I love that. It's certainly what we want to promote. And starting with gratitude is a great way to not just be healthy yourself, but to really push it out in your community. All right, gentlemen, we're going to close it out as this is a quick episode of the High Five, but I am going to change the subject just slightly for one last question because I was interested in these guys because there's something that came out at Amazon Prime Video. Sometimes we dive into a little bit of culture here that I thought I'm going to watch maybe even this weekend. It's one of those things that I want to watch, and that is Coming to America 2 with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall is coming out. And that is like a moment, that's a movie that I've seen 30 times probably, and is like part of my ethos of high or middle school Nate. But I was wondering, does that movie resonate with you guys? I just kind of like when we pull things back after like whatever it's been, 30 years since the first one. And does that movie resonate at all with either of you guys?
Okay, you know how long it's been since I watched that movie. I mean, now that you said that, Nate, so no, it's not resonating at all with me.
All right, I was wrong.
But
yeah, just make
now that you said that.
Okay.
No. Now that you said that, I'll have to go back and watch the first one since the second one's coming out. But it's been a long. Matter of fact, you know what? I think I saw that movie in the theater.
What? We had theaters? Never knew that. What?
I think I saw that movie in the theater.
Oh, all right. Danny, did either of you even know it was coming out? For me, it's been on my list for I've been watching this thing and waiting for it to come out March 5th. But
you're a plethora of knowledge.
Oh wow!
I did not know that this was coming out, but my Facebook feed recently has had quite a few memes and references of Soul Glow. And I'm wondering if it's coming from that.
Yes, it is.
People see it's coming out, and that's where it's coming from. But the Soul Glow is probably one of my favorite parts of that movie, and I definitely, like Brian, I've got to watch number 1 again. But yeah, I'm excited to see number 2.
All right, well, that's my culture beat for the day. Let's come back. I'll bring up a little music. We're gonna have some moments of wisdom from Brian and Danny as they give us push us off into the second week. We're 5 days into March. We've got, that means 26 days left and 15 business days. Really, let's go 16 counting today. We've got a lot of work, a lot of opportunity, and the sky is the limit. Mr. Danny Shard, what say you to our partners as we get started?
Andrew Latka texted me while we're on the High Five here and said, "Put the hood up." So I'm gonna put the hood up to do some closing words here.
Latka.
One time a year that we get to do this insane bonus promotion. I don't know if a lot of you follow our fearless leader Matt Hoskins, who posted on LinkedIn. And we allot a significant amount of money every year, in addition to the bonuses that we already pay, to give our partners just an amazing promotion here to finish the first quarter, really go into the rest of this year. And I think this year it's even more important, right? With things starting to open up, there's a light at the end of the tunnel that all of us can start to see, and there's a lot of money to be made with some of these programs that we've got. Matt Hoskins has a lot of $750,000 to pay out to our partners in bonus commissions. So it's one time a year. Take advantage of this, right? Reach out to those pipelines, and like Brian said, be yourself and close a bunch of business here in March. Take advantage of it because we want to pay you.
I just want to make sure there's enough money to pay me.
There's not enough money to keep the heat up.
Yeah, sorry.
Obviously.
Absolutely, Brian. You are getting paid. It's just going to be starting, and we're going to back up the truck. We're going to give you a little bit of, we're just going to give you some feed, and we'll take care of things.
Story of my life.
Yeah. So, Brian, your closing words.
Again, I just think singles and doubles. This contest is something that I know no one else is offering, and it's going to end on March 31st. It's not going past that, trust me. And get out there and hit some singles and doubles and make yourself a little bit of extra money.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that, I bring the 3-shot up, and what we do is we give you a high five, and we say we'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody, and have a great one. We'll see you.